Hello and welcome to Scary Town, the horror book review show. So this time we're going to be delving into the Most Wanted series, and to start off we have to start off at the beginning. And this book is very strange because the other books start from like 1 to like I think 6 or 7, but this one has no number. I guess it's just book number 0. And I have a theory of why that is, but it is Goosebumps Most Wanted, The Haunted Mask. So, these books are, as far as I'm aware, I've only read this one, but I think they're supposed to be structured into like basically like 2 stories. You got story A, story B, and then this one actually has a prologue that's actually pretty extensive, and it basically goes into the history of the man who created these masks originally. I don't If you've read the Goosebumps book, the Haunted Mask, or even seen the TV episode, this basically goes into really far in depth of the guy originally who started making the book, the masks and stuff, and it gets really gruesome. That's why I feel like this was probably like number 0 of the series, because it definitely feels like it goes a little too far with the depiction of the what happens to the guy. So the guy has the mask on, one of the masks. I don't remember if it's the actual haunted mask or something else, like another mask, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I read this, but he can't figure out a way to remove the mask, and the mask is basically melded onto his face. And so there's really only a way to remove it, so he has to rip the mask off, and it peels off his skin, and it's horrifying. It's just like, I don't know, if you pull off like a band-aid off your skin and it really hurts. So just imagine that like times like 100 or something, because that sounds extremely painful, and it goes into pretty uh, pretty big detail on how that happens, and that's like how the story kind of starts out. It's just like, I don't know if kids should be reading this. This is a little too much, I think. And so we get into the main story of Lou Anne Franklin. She's really big into Halloween, and she's planning a Halloween party on Halloween night. And she has a best friend, Devin O'Bannon. And story A is with Lou Anne, and then we move on to story B with Devin. And I won't go into spoilers, but so the first one is about how she gets the haunted mask, she puts it on, she's unable to pull it off, and then she starts going off and like wrecking people's houses. And one instance, because like she's kind of like bullied by some of the kids, and so she kind of goes on a rampage like the Hulk, and just goes into this person's house and just wrecks it up. It's ridiculous. And then it gets really, really, really crazy when during the party, and she just goes nuts as well, and it's pretty awesome. That's definitely the big payoff for the first story. Just it's just worth it for that the Halloween party. It's awesome. And so it leads off into story B with Devin. His family, or rather his father, inherit a pumpkin patch outside of the city, and it's basically how they have to work at the pumpkin patch, the whole family. And Devin starts seeing like there's a scarecrow, because there's like a cornfield next to the pumpkin patch, and that's where like some of the pumpkins are as well. And he starts noticing like the the scarecrow acting kind of weird, and it's kind of moving in different places where it used to be. Like, it's kind of weird, and it is. I'm guessing this call back to the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, the original Goosebumps story. So it's kind of that. So he has to deal with the Scarecrow, and then there's the best part of the book is it blends the two stories together. There's a crossover where essentially it's the Haunted Mask versus the Scarecrow, and it's pretty awesome. It's like one of those classic Universal movies like Dracula versus the Wolfman and stuff like that. It's pretty cool just seeing like the expanded universe of Goosebumps, and just kind of like the interaction, like everything happens in the same universe, and this is just one of the instances where these two supernatural forces collide, and it's pretty awesome. So I don't recommend this for kids unless they're like a tween or like early teenager, or maybe just like in their late teens, or if you're an adult nostalgic about Goosebumps and you like the Haunted Mask, this is definitely worth checking out. But I feel like the prologue was a bit too gruesome and graphic with what goes on with the guy pulling off his face, and it was a bit too much, I think. So worth checking out. Not for the kids, but for everyone else, it's definitely worth checking out. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.